Hi guys, welcome back to Python 4 Network Automation video series. I am Amit from Networkers Home Technical Team, and in this video we will start with some new topics of the Python here. So what's the agenda for this video? So in this video we'll discuss about Python feature and Python applications here. So let's start it. So first is Python feature. Okay, so what are the features here? So Python is like the first feature is easy to learn and use. Okay, so Python is easy to learn and its syntaxes are very simple as compared to other languages. Okay, so if I'll compare Python with C, C++, and Java, so it's like easier, okay, and easy to learn and use as well. Okay, so because this is one of the developer friendly language and this is high level programming language staircase. Okay, now after that, expressive languages. Okay, so one more thing, what does it mean? What is the meaning of high level programming language here? Okay, so the languages, okay, so let's consider whatever we are writing, let's consider we have to write some scripts for the Python and all. So whatever the scripts we will write in the Python, okay, so that is all about the high level language. But after that there is some interpreter and compiler we use and which will convert that high level language into low level language, and that low level language is also known as machine level language here. So then we will use some interpreter and compiler that we will discuss in the upcoming video here. So Python is what? Python is one of the high level language. C language, C++, Java, all the languages as guys are the high level languages there. Okay, so this is very expressive language. Python language is more expressive, means that it is more understandable and readable here. Okay, so as compared to C and C++ and Java, this is more expressive and readable language here. So that's why this is more expressive. Interpreted language. Python is an interpreter language. For example, interpreter execute the code line one by one. So what does that mean? Okay, I'll give you basic idea about interpreter and compiler. So see, let's consider this is my high level language, okay, which is about Python. Okay, Python high level language, we can read it easily. Okay, because the reason, because this is expressive language. Expressive language here. Okay, so high level language. So now this is high level language, okay, which is about Python. Okay, then but this is we can read it as per, if I'm talking about human readable format. This is what? This is in the human readable format here. Okay, that we can read it easily. After that, whatever the scripts here. After that, these are the devices. Okay, that these are the devices, router 1, router 2, or whatever, or any machines here. Okay, so these devices, whatever we are using these devices, okay, and we have to run the script over these devices there. But these are the machines. So machines has its different language here. So that language is known as your machine level language there. Okay, machine level language. So machine level language is also known as low level language. Low level language here. Okay, so these machines can read only low level language and machine level language. This is high level language, only the human can read the languages here. So let's consider I'm a programmer and I have to write a program to configure OSPF, and this is my Python script. This is what? This is my Python script here. This script I have written in the Python language. So this is about what? Your high level language, high level language here. These are the devices, okay, where we have to push the configuration. So they need what? They need here low level language here, or machine level language. So how we are going to be convert this high level language into the low level language? So for that case, in between, there's a kind of Okay, guide will be there, or can say kind of now compiler and interpreter, kind of converter, you can say, kind of converter. So there is a two possibilities there. Maybe it's about interpreter, okay, and second possibility is compiler. Okay, this is about the compiler here. So now let's consider this is a script, Python based script here. This is the interpreter now. Okay, and these are this is the, and this is high level language. We'll go to into your interpreter, we'll perform the process. Okay, we'll perform some process on that, and after that we'll get what, low level language here, or you can say machine level language. Okay, at the place of interpreter there is a possibility for the compiler also, but Python use always interpreter here, not the compiler. Okay, so this is the reason Python is your interpreted language here, because interpreter will execute your code one by one, or you can say line by line. It will execute it what? It will execute as a line by line. But compiler will not execute your program as a line by line. It will execute whole program in a single go there. Okay, so this is the reason why Python is known as your interpreter language, because it's use interpreter to compile the programs actually, or to execute the program. Okay, so when we use interpreter, okay, to execute the codes, okay, so it will execute it line by line at a time, not whole program at a time. So this makes debugging easy and thus suitable for the beginners as well. So this is the reason Python is your one of the interpreted language and better language as compared to C and C++, because C and C++ languages are your compiler based here. So in-depth differences we will discuss in the next video about interpreter and about the compiler. Cross-platform language. Okay, Python is one of the cross-platform language. Means Python can run equally on the different platforms such as Windows, Linux, Unix, and Macintosh over as well. So we can say that Python is one of the portable language here. So it's not any operating system based. It's not you can just use it only Windows only, or you can just use it just for the Linux and on the Unix over there. No, you can use it on any platform here. So this is the reason this Python is also known as cross-platform language. This is free and open source. Python language is freely available at official web pages. Okay, and the source code is also available. Therefore, it's in a one open language here. Even for Python, okay, there is a website for the Python official website, that is python.org. So there you will find, you can download the Python easily. Okay, and the second thing, all the source codes are also present there, and that is as well totally freely. You don't have to pay anything to the Python organization. So that's why free and open source. This is one of the object-oriented language here. Python support object-oriented language, and concept of classes and object comes into the existence here. So this is the one of the very powerful feature of any language here. Okay, and Python support this feature. So right now we haven't discussed about anything about the object oriented and all, what are the OOPs and what are the objects, and also that's why I'm not explaining it here again, but just I want to mention one thing. Python is one of the object based or object oriented language here. Okay, OOPs based, okay, which use classes and object into the concepts here. So what are these things that we will discuss in the upcoming videos here, because hope you remember in the previous videos, we have discussed about the syllabus, and in the syllabus, I have already mentioned there is about the OOPs and about the classes here. Okay, so that we will discuss in the upcoming classes. So this is one of what? Object-oriented language here. This is the one of the powerful feature of any language. The next is it has large standard library. Python has a large and the broad library and provide rich set of the modules and the function for the rapid application development. What does that mean? See, actually, we have discussed Python. Python is a language, okay, which we use for the different purposes, like that we will discuss today as well. Like we use it for the network automation, okay, because network automation. We use it for web development. Okay, we use it for any web application development. Okay, we use it normal application development as well. Okay, we use it for graphical user interface development. We use it for ML. We use it for AI. Okay, so we use it in for the mathematical calculations and all. So we can use Python for the different perspective there. Okay, so now how the Python we are able to use in the Python case, there are inbuilt libraries. Okay, with the help of those libraries only, we can use it for the different purposes there. So let's consider for, if I'm talking about for automation, for network automation, there is NetMiko, there is a Paramiko. Okay, there is a Nepam. Okay, there is about telnetlib. Okay, so now these are the what, these are the vast different libraries there, and these supports. Okay, and why we use these libraries, these are the what, libraries, or you can say modules of Python, which we use for what, which we use for the network automation. So like that, there's a lot of libraries for the AI. Okay, there's a library for ML, there's a library for the different users over there. So this is the reason we can say Python has a large and a broad library and provide rich set of modules and functions for rapid application development. UI programming support, graphical user interface can be developed with the help of Python there. So yes, with the help of the Python, we can develop the GUI for any kind of application and for the software. Integrated, it can be easily integrated with a language like C, C++, and Java here. So yes, this is easily we can integrate. Okay, so these are the features case of the Python, like easy to learn and use, expressive language, interpreted language, cross-platform, free and open source, and object-oriented. The main features out of these things, main features if I'm talking about, one is this is your interpreted language. The second is expressive language. Okay, and this is object-oriented. So these are the main features of the Python. Okay, after that, it has a large standard library as well. Okay, with the help of GUI, we can develop, with the help of the Python, we can develop any GUI over there, graphical user interface, and it can be integrated with any of the languages like C, C++, and Java as well. So integration is also easy into this concept here. So this is all about the Python features. So let's move to the Python applications. So where we can use the Python. So that is about the applications. So Python application. So Python is known for its general purpose nature that make it applicable in almost each domain of softwares, right? Like software development and web applications, web development there, software development, about GUI development there, for the network automation, ML, AI, okay, for different purposes over there. So you can say it applicable in almost each domain of softwares development. Python as a whole can be used in any sphere of the development. So here are some specific applications we have mentioned. So the first is about web application. Okay. So we can use Python to develop web applications. Okay, web-based applications also we can develop. It provides the libraries to handle internet protocols. Because see, if you are using any web application, if you are talking about any web application, so as you know, if you are talking about web, so we are always obviously talking about here internet protocols like about HTTP and HTTPS, and in that the data structure space languages we are using like HTML, XML, and JSON. We use it for the email processing, request, beautiful shop, and feeder, etc. It also provides the framework such as Django, Pyramid, Flask, etc. to design and develop web-based application. So guys, these are the what? Django, right? Pyramid, Flask, okay? These are the libraries which we used for web-based application. If you have to develop any kind of web-based applications, so you can use these kind of the libraries and any of these libraries. Some important developments are like libraries are like Python wiki of some important developments are Python wiki engine, okay, Poco, Python blog, software. So these are the main developments which they have done with the help of Python, or you can say these are the main developments with the help of the Python. So we use it for the web application, and these are their what? These are their libraries and modules. Second is desktop GUI application. Desktop GUI application. Python provide TK GUI library this to develop user interface in the Python based application. So if you have to develop any kind of user interface in Python based application, okay, so then use library TK GUI here. This is one of the library which we use to develop any kind of user interface. Okay. Some other useful toolkits like VxWidgets, Kiwi, PyQt, then that are usable on the several platforms. The Kiwi is popular for writing multi-touch applications. So these are the what? These are the inbuilt libraries which we use for the GUI application, which we cannot use for any network automation because this is just designed for the desktop GUI. This is the reason why Python has the large and broad libraries there. Okay, so these are the first two applications. Let's move to the next slide. Next is that was the web software development. Now this is just normal software development, but not the web based. So Python is helpful for the software development process as well. It works as a support language and can be used for the build control and management and testing, etc. Okay. The next is scientific and numeric. The Python is a popular and widely used in scientific and numeric computing. Okay, some useful libraries and packages are, now we can use it for numeric computing, okay, and the scientific and numeric computing. And for what are the libraries? Py, scientific Python libraries. Okay, SCIE defines as sign, okay, scientific, and Py Python, pandas, IPython, etc. So these are the libraries used by the Python for scientific and numeric computing over there. Scientific Python is group of the packages of engineering, science, and mathematics. So in case as a developer, if you are developing any applications or softwares for the scientific and numeric calculation, then you have to use these kind of libraries for that, not NetMiko and Paramiko. Business application. So Python is used to build business applications like ERP and e-commerce system here. Triton is a high-level application platform for that. Okay, so this is one of the application we use for the one of the library which we use for the business application. Console-based application. We can use Python to develop console-based applications. For example, IPython we use for that. Okay, audio and video-based application. Python is awesome to perform multitask and can be used to develop multimedia applications. It's an awesome to perform multiple tasks here. Some of the real applications are TimPlayer, CPlay, etc. So if you have to develop any kind of application related with video and audio and any application which is audio and video based, so then you can use Python for that. 3D CAD applications. So to create CAD application, so then Fandango is a real application which is provide full features for the CAD here. So it means we use Python to develop any 3D CAD applications also. Okay, the Python applications. So okay, so and the Python applications like about enterprise applications. Okay, so again, the ninth is about enterprise applications. So Python can be used to create application which can be used within an enterprise and organization. Some real application are OpenERP, Triton, and Picalo, etc. So these are the application which we use in the enterprise. Application for images. Using the Python, several application can be developed for the images. Application developers are like VPython, Go, and ImageSeq here. Okay, so these are the different use of the Python applications. I hope it's clear now. So web application, desktop GUI application, software development, scientific and numeric applications, then business applications, console-based applications, audio and video-based applications, 3D CAD applications, enterprise applications, and application for the images. Okay, so these are the applications of the Python case. Okay, so this is the reason why it has a broad and large library there. Okay, so these are the features and applications of the Python here. Okay. So now let's the one last thing which I haven't mentioned in the agenda. So we will discuss about basic things about basic difference between compiler and interpreter as well. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. So there is a two kind of converter. These are the kind of converter which will convert any high level language into the low level language. Okay, or you can say any high level language into machine level language, because the high level languages are the languages which can be like user friendly, or you can say humans can read that languages easily, but machine level language cannot be understood by your humans, because we cannot read that language here. But the machines, the devices, the computers, they can read only machine level language, not the high level language. So when we are writing any scripts or any program in any language like C, C++, Java, or about Python, for any purpose, maybe for the web development and for maybe GUI development and maybe for the any any application, maybe for the any application development or any software development, or maybe for the network automation, if you are writing any kind of scripts in the Python language, so that language is known as high level language. With the language which we can understand, that is high level. But now the devices cannot understand that high level language there. Okay, so we have to convert this high level language into machine level language, and for that thing, guys, we need some kind of converter, okay, which will convert it. Okay, so now this is the one of my script which I have written in the high level language. So now I have to execute to the destination devices. So for that thing, we need some kind of executor, you can say. So there's a two kind of executors there. One is interpreter, one is compiler. Python use interpreter. What are the differences? Interpreter will translate the program one statement at a time, but compiler will scan the entire program and translate it as a in a single go and as a whole into the machine. Let's consider, for example, this is the one of the script. I have written one script here. In this script, there is a different lines there. These are the different codes and lines over there. Okay, for example, 1,000 codes lines are there. Okay, 1,000 over there, right? So if you're using interpreter, so interpreter execute it one by one. One by it will check it. This one, is there any error? No. Is there any bug? No. Then we will move to the next. Any bug? No. Any bug? No. When it will come to this point, and let's consider there is some bug. Okay, there is some bugs in the program. So now what interpreter will do? Interpreter will show you the error. Okay, now at this line, the line 10th. So there is some bugs there. So please first rectify this one and then execute your program again. So this is interpreter concept. But what the compiler will do? Compiler will execute whole program first. And after that, let's consider when interpreter has executed this program. So from first to 10th, it took only 10 seconds for the interpreter. And immediately after 10 seconds, you got the error. You got in a message that there is a bug and at this line there, and we have to troubleshoot that. But the second thing is, if you are using compiler, so first of all, compiler will execute all the 1,000 lines. That will take 1 minute, right? And after that, the compiler will tell you, okay, there is some bugs on your line 10th there. So then I'm asking, if there was a bugs in the starting only, so why you didn't tell me that time? Because now you have executed 1,000 lines and now you are telling me. So you can say, yes, interpreter is a little bit slow, that we can understand. But yes, with interpreter, the debugging is very easy as compared to compiler here. So this is the reason Python is one of the Python used for interpreter there. Okay. it takes less amount of time to analyze the source code, but the overall execution time is slow. Yes, it will find the like bugs for you like soon. Okay, like in this, if it's in the starting the second line, third line, there is a box or error, it will take very less time to analyze that, but overall execution will be slow. Like TCP protocol, TCP is more reliable protocol. Okay, but always and connection oriented program, or connection oriented and connection oriented as well, TCP protocol, but takes time. But UDP is faster, but no reliability, no connection orientation is there, nothing is there. Okay, so same if we are comparing, if we will compare interpreter and compiler in networking, I'm talking about language, this is kind of TCP and this is kind of UDP. So it takes less time to analyze the source code, but overall execution will take time. It take large amount to analyze that and to time to analyze the source code, but overall execution time is comparatively faster. It will continue translating the program until the first error is met. Okay, but let's consider you have executed your program with the help of interpreter, and until and unless you are not getting any kind of error, it will execute. And immediately once, let's consider here, interpreter got some bugs. So immediately then it will stop your execution. It will ask you first, rectify this one, and the remaining program will execute later. It generates the error message only after the scanning whole program here. Hence, debugging is comparatively hard. Here, debugging is very easy. Okay, because then immediately here you will get to know, okay, in the 20th line there is some error. So then you can find out. Program languages like Python, Ruby use interpreter, but the languages here C and C++ use compiler. Okay, so you can say Python is interpreted language and C and C++ are your compiler based languages here. So this is the difference between interpreter and compiler. Okay, so the features of Python, then we are done. The feature like Python applications we are done, and we have discussed about here in difference between interpreter and compiler also. So thank you for watching the video, guys.